Welcome to Miller Park. The July 4th holiday week has been a good one so far for Brewer fans, so let the fun and games continue. A sweep of the Twins. Now the Braves are in town to face the Brew Crew for the first of 4 this weekend. And it's a big showdown this weekend in the National League. 2 of the top 3 teams are ready to go head-to-head. Milwaukee with the best record in the National League. Atlanta the best record in the National League East. They are right there, and we are ready for a fun 4-game series. Hi, everybody. Craig Kashan, Bill Schroeder on board all night long here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Great to have you aboard here. And the Brewers now 16 games over 500. That's the best for them since the 2014 season, Rock. Best record in the National League right now, but they will be tested. This is going to be about the Braves offense and the Brewers pitching in this series.
Yeah, and the Atlanta Braves all season long have been very good. I mean, amongst National League offenses, one of the best. I mean, they rank very high in just about everything. Home runs, batting average, runs scored. They've had some pretty good performances from guys like Freddie Freeman and Nick Markakis. Ozzie Albies, a young phenom. He's been outstanding. NCR, their leadoff hitter. Everybody up and down this batting order has been very good for the Atlanta Braves. So the bullpen, the pitching staff for the Milwaukee Brewers, that has been very good so far this year. They're second best in earned run average. The starting rotation, has been very good. The opponent batting average is 225. The key for the Brewers is going to be keeping the baseball in the ballpark, get a lead, get through 6 innings, and turn it over to a very good bullpen that the Brewers have had all season long.
Elise Chassin gets the first test for the Brew Crew here in Game 1 against Max Fried. We'll set the stage for you. Keon Broxton, though, flashing the leather game after game after game. Sophia Minner catches up with yesterday's hero. When we come back, Brewers and Braves on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. The Brewers are coming off of a 3-game sweep against the Minnesota Twins on this homestand, and tonight they welcome in the Atlanta Braves for a 4-game set here at Miller Park, and the Brewers are hot, looking to keep that rolling here tonight against the Braves. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minnaert here at Miller Park. And Craig Counsell said that just like a hot hitter at the plate, what Keon Broxton is doing for the Brewers defensively with the glove in center field, especially considering they are missing Lorenzo Cain in the lineup, has been so impressive. And he said it's not just the defense, it's how he's doing it, it's the timing of them. They are game-saving plays, and we know how much this team values run prevention. This is something that Keon Broxton has done since his rookie season in 2016, robbing Anthony Rizzo of a game-tying home run in the 9th. Then he did it again in August of 2017, robbing Randall Grichuk of a go-ahead homer in the 9th. And then yesterday, he made one of the most impressive catches you will see all season to rob Brian Dozier of a solo home run with 1 out in the 9th. The Brewers at the time had a 3-1 lead, and they would go on to win the game 3-2. So here's the reaction from Keon Broxton on making those highlight reel plays.
That's the plays that you dream to make of, and it was fun. Those are the fun plays to make right there, and especially to help out the pitcher. My big thing is just watching the pitcher's reaction after that happens, and that's my satisfaction. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I could be in a position to make it.
Keon Broxton helping the Brewers with the glove and his defense. Now they hand the ball to Yolis Chacin as the Crew goes for their 4th straight win coming off of their sweep against the Twins. Can they keep it going here against Atlanta? We've got first pitch coming up next.
Travis Shaw, deep right center. This is gonna fly. Miller in the air to center field. Got a chance. Goodbye. That one's got a chance. His first big league hit. Back is Broxton. He leaps. Oh my goodness. He's done it again.
A lot of momentum coming into tonight's game. Yolis Chacin is approaching the mound here at Miller Park. He gets the call in game 1 of this 4-game weekend series. The Brewers and Braves here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sophia Minnaert on the sidelines along with Bill Schroeder. I'm Craig Kashan as we welcome you inside the booth here. Braves and Brewers, partly sunny, 85, going to cool off for the rest of the weekend, we are told. So one more hot, steamy night here at Miller Park. And Brian Snitker, the manager for the Atlanta Braves, as the Braves come to town for the first time here in 2018. His second full season. He took over midway back in 2016, and he has this team on the rise and on top in the National League East. And this is a look at his batting order. Ender Inciarte, the center fielder, will lead off. Ozzie Albies at second base. Freddie Freeman at first. Nick Markakis out in right. Tyler Flowers, the catcher. Johan Camargo over at third. Ronald Acuna Jr., the left fielder. Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, and the pitcher is Max Fried here tonight. So Jhoulys Chacín out on the hill for start number 19. Right?
Yeah, the former Atlanta Brave. He got a no decision his last time out against the Reds. That was in Cincinnati. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run for Chacín. The Brewers would lose that game, making career start number 7 against the Braves. He's 1-4 so far. 394 the earned run average. His career against Atlanta. And let's check out the defense for the Brewers. The 6th best defense in the National League. Braun, Broxton, Yelich in the outfield. Good to have Yelich back in there 2 days in a row. You got Perez, Saladino up from the minor leagues, off the disabled list. VR Aguilar on the right, and Eric Kratz behind home plate.
And the first pitch of the game is ball 1 from Jhoulys Chacín to Inciarte, who's batting .252 on the season, 6 home runs and 33 RBIs, but you want to keep this guy off the bases because he's a stolen base threat. 23 on the season already.
Yeah, 23 of the 50 stolen bases that the Atlanta Braves have got this year. So keep him is right. Keep him off the bases.
And the 1-1 pitch hits a ball and 2 strikes to open up now for Chacín. Brewers coming off the sweep of the Minnesota Twins, a big 3-game series win. And yesterday on July 4th, a lot of fireworks. Big catch by Broxton in the 9th inning. And this one hits Inciarte right on the foot. A lot of pain there to open up the game for him.
Man, that might slow him down a bit.
Not what Chacín wanted to do on a 1-2 pitch for sure.
Well, you have that foot firmly planted on the ground, a lot of weight on it, and all of a sudden the ball hits it. It's going to hurt. Right on the back foot. And gets him.
It's like that back left foot, so he will slowly make his way up to first base as the training staff had a chance to look at him.
Yep, got him on the curveball, and the curveball has been a really good pitch for Chacín, and for a while now.
So a base runner to open up. Inciarte at first. Here's Ozzie Albies. Albies, Freeman, and Markakis, the next 3 hitters for the Braves. 3 of the top 4 in hits in the National League. This is what has helped power the Atlanta offense. You get a runner up there and then bring these guys in.
Yeah, 5 of the 8 position players are going to be up there left-handed tonight. 3 lefties, 2 switch hitters. Even the pitcher Fried is a left-handed batter.
Both these managers able to load up their offense in proper fashion, lefty versus righty and righty versus lefty. There's Brian Snitker. Well, what a job he has done. He has been with the Braves organization basically his entire life. His 42nd year.
That's something.
Second year, second full year, 3rd year as the manager. In fact, when Hank Aaron had a front office position with the Braves back in 1982, he hired Snitker to move into player development and really helped his career as a free agent, signing as a player with the Braves, and has never left.
Yeah. He's done a good job. Good for him. He deserves the shot.
1-1 pitch, line down the right field line all the way into the corner. Inciarte racing around the bases, being waved home, and the throw in is not in time, and Albies winds up at third base. So the Braves take the early lead here at Miller Park.
Well, whistles one down the right field line. That was a fastball. Chacín tried to get it by him on the inside corner and nothing doing. Left it out over the plate enough for Albies to be able to rip it down the line. Boy, good speed. We talked about the speed. Apparently that hit by hitting the foot didn't affect the speed. And Inciarte able to score the first run without an out here in the first.
So a hit batter and a triple, and the Braves have the early lead. Third tripper for Albies on the season. That'll bring up Freddie Freeman. First pitch, a strike from Chassin. Freeman with 101 hits, fourth in the National League.
An incredible season, 16 homers, 56 driven in. He's one of the best. Good defensively. He got hit on the elbow by CC Sabathia yesterday, and it hurt. He's a gamer. No elbow pad. He doesn't wear a shin guard. Kind of a throwback guy.
Well, as well as that batting average has been for Freeman since June 17th, batting only 161 as he pops one foul. And here's a look at that hit by pitch that Rock was talking about yesterday.
I got him on the funny bone, and he said it kind of numbed the whole hand for a while and arm. And Sabathia gets him on the inside part of the plate there, and well, he's back in there tonight.
Right back at Chassin, and breaking his Albies, and he will score.
Boy, oh boy, come on.
Chassin not really giving him much of a look over there to get him all the way back to the bag before he made the throw.
Well, he kind of glanced at him, and then he threw a lollipop over to first base. And once Albies saw the trajectory of the throw, he took off. Good play to knock it down. He looks at him, but not much, was it? Just kind of a flip over there to first base, as if he forgot that Albies was there. I mean, you get a firm throw over to first base, he's not going to try and score.
Well, 2 runs across here in the opening frame for the Braves, so they have a 2-0 lead.
RBI for Freeman.
And the Brewers do have an out there. Bases are clear for Nick Markakis. The National League leader with 108 hits. He's batting .322 with 10 home runs and 58 RBIs. Good career numbers against Milwaukee, .304 at the plate. And this one poked in the left. Braun going back, and just at the warning track makes the second out.
Well, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. And talking about Chassin, he's been able to keep the ball in the ballpark pretty well this year. He only allowed 2 home runs in the month of June. That covered 6 starts. Now the Atlanta Braves, they can hit them, and they're very good at night. Check this record out. Night games for the Brewers, 35-15, tied for the best night game record in the National League. They're tied with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And today's starter, Max Fried, when runners are in scoring position, batters are 0 for 18. So look for those things tonight.
Good scouting report from Rock as Tyler Flowers steps in.
I got here early. I was able to dig deep.
Did you get here early for any particular reason tonight?
Just to really concentrate on the Pizza Ranch.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right, Flowers ahead, 2 balls and no strikes against Chassin. Not the start that he nor the Brewers wanted here against an offensive powered Atlanta Braves team coming in down 2-0 early. There's a strike, 2-1.
I have to be honest, all that stuff's in the game notes.
Thought I saw it somewhere before.
Yeah. Thanks for not selling me out.
I would never do that to you, my friend. Flowers ahead now 3-1. Chassin having a hard time finding a rhythm here after hitting Inciarte on that 1-2 pitch. And this one taken by Saladino as he makes his first defensive play since coming off the DL. Brewers coming to bat. They trail by 2. For the first time as we head to the bottom of the first inning, Craig Counsell, fourth season as Brewers skipper. 271, 276 is his record as he inches closer to 500 on his career. The Brewers having a fine season in first place. Jonathan Villar will lead off for Milwaukee. Loaded with righties. Christian Yelich, the only lefty. Jesus Aguilar will bat third. Ryan Braun, the cleanup. Hernan Perez over at third. Broxton back in center. Saladino fresh off the disabled list and feeling good. And then Eric Kratz, the catcher, ahead of Ulysses Chassin as they will face the lefty, the young kid, Max Fried.
Yeah, Max Fried, third different time he's been with the Atlanta Braves this year. Seventh appearance. He's 6'4", 190 pounds, 24 years old. They picked him up in a trade with the Padres back in 2014. He had time in AAA and AA this year.
And so he is ready to face Jonathan Villar, who's only had 3 plate appearances so far on the homestand, as the Brewers have used the hot bat of Brad Miller. First pitch misses, ball 1. And Nate Orf has been getting some starts. Got his big first major league hit and home run in the game yesterday. Turned out to be the game winning run, if you will, in the 3-2 win. Big cut by Villar. There's a look at Orf next to Chase Anderson, who again continues to pitch very well. He's on a roll right now for the Brew Crew and set the stage for that victory.
And Brad Miller's come up with some big home runs. 3 solo shots yesterday. Got the Brewers to win.
Villar hammers this one into left all the way to the wall. And he will stop at second base with a leadoff double. And the Brewers making some noise here in the first inning to try to catch up.
Well, Jonathan Villar this year much better as a right-handed hitter, coming into play tonight, a 295 batting average as a righty. That's a big departure from last year, where he only hit 214 as a right-handed hitter. Took a curveball up in the zone and hammers it out there into left. Good start to the Brewers. That's a hanging curveball. It's one of his better pitches. Fried has a good curve. He hung that one.
There's Christian Yelich with the runner out at second base, and nobody out here in the opening frame for Milwaukee. First pitch misses low.
The only left-handed batter in the lineup for Counsell tonight. Loading up the righties.
288, 11 home runs and 34 RBIs for Yelich, who makes his second consecutive start since he missed 6 games with that tight back issue. Was not on the DL, but the Brewers certainly missed his bat during that time and was able to avoid the disabled list. Good to have Yelich back in that lineup and feeling better. Lorenzo Cain, they hope, is not far behind.
I just want to make sure that that leg issue for Lorenzo is completely healed. You don't want to have him come back too soon and have him miss some more time.
There's Lorenzo Cain, been working hard to come back. Was hoping maybe by midweek. Here's the 1-1. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Left-hander's got a pretty good arm. I mean, he saw 94 right there. Cruising speed, you know, 93, 94. He can reach back and give you a little extra. He's been compared to, if you will, Cole Hamels. Very similar pitches. He does have a changeup. Not sure if it's as good as the one Hamels throws, but style-wise.
Well, the Braves are high on Fried. And Yelich cannot check his swing on the curveball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Numbers tell you that with 2 strikes, Fried's going to throw a lot of curveballs. It looks like he went.
Yelich gives him a good look, waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Villar's out at second. This one skips away. Villar holds. Full count now to Christian Yelich. Brewers have to play from behind to get things going here tonight as Jesus Aguilar waits on deck.
They've done a little bit of that this year. Won games from deficits.
Certainly no panic with this team, that's for sure.
No.
Three-two, and Yelich strikes out.
Well, let's check out the Braves defense. Fourth best in the National League as far as fielding percentage. They've turned 81 double plays. That's good for third best. Acuna, Enciarte, and Markakis in the outfield. Camargo, he can pick it. He's got a good arm as well over at third base. Swanson, Albies up the middle. Freddie Freeman at first base, and Tyler Flowers behind home plate.
And our umpire and crew at home plate, Jeff Kellogg. He is also the crew chief. James Hoy over at first, Marvin Hudson at second, and Quinn Wolcott over at third. One down for Jesus Aguilar as VR with the leadoff double still awaits. First pitch hits the outside corner. Jesus Aguilar, 303, 19 home runs, 55 RBIs. 1 for 6 in his career against the Braves. Not a lot of opportunities for Jesus Aguilar, who's this season is his breakthrough season, obviously, in Major League Baseball. There goes VR. Throw to third is going to be late. So VR in position now with one down at third base.
The other thing you want to look for in this series is the Brewers to be aggressive on the bases. Atlanta Braves catchers have not done a very good job cutting down would-be base stealers. 17% overall. That's not very good. Flowers a little bit better than the other, but far too late to get VR at third base.
Got the hand-foot coordination perfect. Continuing contact on third base. So important in the replay era that we're in right now. Can't lose contact.
That's right. No ring you up.
The 1-1 to Aguilar, and he punches this one into right. It's caught out there by Markakis. VR tags. Here's the throw. It's going to be late, and the Brewers are on the board.
There you go. Good speed. That's what happens when that guy gets on base. Jonathan VR. Boy, he's exciting. And he's been a very smart base runner this year. A double stolen base and a sacrifice fly, and not a very deep fly ball to right either. Markakis doesn't have a very good throwing arm. Good piece of hitting by Aguilar to get a piece of it. And kind of a floater, and not even close at home. That's a good answer to a two-run first for the Atlanta Braves. Come right back to get one.
No need to get it all in one swing. And the Brewers cut that deficit right in half, trailing 2-1 right now. 2 down for Ryan Braun. Takes a wave at that first pitch from Fried. Aguilar, by the way, is 7th sacrifice fly, ties for most in the National League, and that's why VR was on the move. He knows the big fellow can bring him in. Braun, little one hopper over to third. Camargo. And the Brewers are retired, but they do get a run thanks to Jonathan VR's leadoff double. It's 2-1 as we head to the second.
4-game series. The Braves have a 1-0 lead, and the Brewers are bringing back 70s night, or the 70s back in style this Sunday, when all fans at the series finale against these Braves will take home a retro Robin Yount 70s replica jersey, courtesy of Orbis Corporation. To book your seats, go to brewers.com/tickets.
All right, top of 2 we go. Chassin back out on the hill. The Brewers got a run back for him, so the Braves with a 2-1 lead right now as Johan Camargo steps in. The Braves third baseman made that final out back in the bottom of the first against Ryan Braun. 260 on the season for him with 9 home runs and 37 RBIs. Kind of took over third base on a permanent position for the Braves back on May 20th, and little rollout over there to Perez. So there's your first out here in the second inning.
Yeah, he can pick at Camargo, a switch hitter. And he's got a cannon. You see that throw he made over to first base?
Good looking Braves team here. It's going to be a fun series. Here's Ronald Acuna Jr., the left fielder. Big hack at that first pitch from Chassin. Acuna at 266, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. Came off the disabled list on June 29th.
Yeah, good mix of young players and veteran guys that keep this offense clicking along pretty well. These guys can do it. Up amongst league leaders, a lot of offensive categories in the National League this year, including runs scored.
Well, let's see what that Brewer defense you just saw can muster as this one gets past Kratz. 2 balls in a strike. And the 2-1 in there to even it up.
And it's that curveball that's been such a good pitch for him lately. And the fastball with movement, curveball, and he's been throwing a split change.
This one dead center field. Broxton going back, has a beat on it right in front of the wall.
It stays in the ballpark. Pretty good chance he's going to catch it. Even if it doesn't stay in the ballpark, he can catch him.
That was on fine display over the weekend for Broxton.
Yeah, fastball right down the middle, 91, and Keon able to drift back and able to haul it in front of the wall. Easy for him. Talked to Keon about that catch yesterday. He said, there's no way I should have caught that. He didn't think he was going to be able to get there. He just jumped. He jumped as high as he could. You know, he can dunk a basketball just standing still, not moving.
That's impressive stuff.
I mean, he's got a pretty good vertical. I
Yes.
said, what's your vertical? He said, I don't know, but I told him, that's pretty good. I don't know what it is.
Well, if he can dunk a basketball standing, it's at least 10 feet, right? We can measure it up for him.
Yeah.
There's Dansby Swanson, the shortstop.
Well, the wall out there is 8 feet. You get up over that wall about a foot, maybe more.
Well, I think the degree of difficulty for him on that one, Rock, is it was a well hit ball that didn't have a lot of carry to it, and so he had to time everything on the run,
yeah,
which is the most difficult of those catches to make.
Right, didn't get a chance to get to the wall and jump straight up. I mean, he timed it perfectly, got as high as he possibly could. And the ball went into his glove at the peak of his jump. Everything had to work well, and it did yesterday. Sometimes, you know, guys will impress themselves, you know, and I think that catch there was a good example of it.
1-2 popped up in the infield. Aguilar. And the Braves are done here in the second inning. Perez, Broxton, and Saladino. When we come back.
It's 2-1 here in the second, and the Brewers had to make another roster move here today with Orlando Arcia down in AAA working on things offensively at shortstop. They have activated Tyler Saladino back from the 10-day disabled list, suffered a left ankle sprain all the way back on May 29th against the Cardinals, and Saladino had made such a great impact for the Brewers in 16 games prior to the injury. He was hitting over 300 with 3 home runs, but the corresponding move in activating Tyler Saladino is they had to make a difficult choice in designating for assignment infielder Eric Sogard. And Craig Counsell said Sogard was just in an unfortunate spot in the roster where he wasn't getting a lot of playing time or a lot of at-bats. He was struggling at the plate as well, just a 134 average for him. We know what kind of contributions Sogard made as a utility player last year, but he said this year just didn't get that same opportunity. But he feels that they're adding a plus defender in Tyler Saladino with what they saw prior to that ankle injury.
Got to get some offense rolling in here, and that infield depth at shortstop certainly has changed here over the course of just the first half of the season.
Yeah, and again, he came up with some pretty big hits when he first came up. And he can pick it. He's got good hands, good throwing arm.
Hernan Perez bats here to open up the second, and he lines one down the right field line. This one all the way into the corner. Perez on the run. He's thinking 3. He's on his way, and he will easily slide in with a leadoff triple here in the second inning. And what a start for Milwaukee.
Well, you love to see that. You know, wait back and shoot that ball inside the first baseline. Gets on top of it, all the way in the corner. We talked about the throwing arm for Markakis, not that great, and he knew that Perez was going to try to get into third. That's just a pretty swing. He let it travel, got deep, ripped it down the line. Let's see Freddie Freeman playing off the line, not expecting Perez to do that.
First triple of the season for Perez. And the Brewers in good shape here as they trail 2-1 early in this game. There's Keon Broxton. Broxton on the season, 200. A couple of home runs and 4 RBIs, though, in his limited time since he has been called up. This is his 8th start since being called up from AAA. Good numbers against the Braves in his career, most of that coming a year ago.
And 4 of those RBIs came in that one game in Cincinnati. 2 home run game for Keon.
Hitting left-handed pitching much better than right-handed at 247 against lefties, 216 against righties. 2-0 popped up. And this one out of play. Keon Broxton, he knows that this team needs some offense, but boy, the plays he has made defensively, this impact he has had in a week and a half, really off the charts.
Well, how many runs has he saved?
Exactly. Big swing and a miss there to even it up.
He made a great running catch against the Twins with the bases loaded. That if that ball, he doesn't get to that ball, that's 3 runs.
Well, and think about yesterday. He robbed the home run. It was a 3-1 ball game. Next batter hits a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, that could easily have tied things up if he doesn't make that catch. Tried to punch it to right. A little late.
A little deceptive on that curveball because he's been hanging a few. That was a hanger right there, and he got a little double clutch on it. Able to get a piece of it.
Two on the way to Broxton. It's high, full count. Broxton with 3 career home runs with runners in scoring position. Three-two misses high, and the Brewers put their first 2 batters on base here in the second inning.
Yeah, good job laying off that high fastball. That's always a trouble pitch for Broxton. Has a difficult time laying off that high fastball. Did it back-to-back pitches.
All right, so Max Fried now, the triple allowed to open things up by Perez. Then he walks Broxton. Now he faces Tyler Saladino. He bats for the first time since being reinstated from the disabled list. Missed 30 big league games on that disabled list. Numbers with the White Sox and Milwaukee here in limited play on the 2018 season. Pretty good at .311. First pitch misses high and tight.
I said he had around 20 at bats down in the minor leagues on his rehab assignment, and said he felt pretty good at the plate.
That just catches the corner. 1-1. Well, the Brewers have been looking to solidify their depth in that middle infield. Remember, Saladino's been gone for 30 days on the DL, and he was brought up when Nick Franklin in one game was injured after his call up all back in May.
Yeah, May 9th he came up.
Check of the runner at Broxton.
Now Fried has a pretty good move to first base. He's got a couple of pickoffs this year, which should make it a little bit more difficult for the Brewers to steal second base.
Yeah, he picked off 2 runners in the same inning. The first Braves pitcher since Kevin Millwood to do that since 1999.
And Millwood's a right-hander. That's even more impressive.
Sure is. Two balls and a strike to Saladino. Big swing and a miss there. Off speed. Perez is over at third. Broxton at first. Nobody out here in the Brewer second inning. And he fights one off to stay alive. Count stays at 2-2.
A couple of change ups and then try to bust him inside, but Saladino able to get a piece of it.
Brewers with the best record in the National League facing the NL East leading Atlanta Braves here tonight. 2-2, pounded in the center field, base hit, and we are tied as Perez comes in, and Saladino in his first plate appearance since coming off the DL, missing more than a month of action, ties this game.
Good at bat. I mean, change ups and fastballs. He got a fastball up in the zone, able to fight it off. That one not in as far as the one before, and Saladino able to muscle it into center field. And we mentioned on Pizza Ranch for the win tonight that batters were 0 for 18 against Fried with runners in scoring position. First hit against him with a man in scoring position this year.
So first and second, runners on the move. Eric Kratz the batter, and the Brewers steal 2 bases. Almost like they ambushed Fried on that very first pitch to Kratz.
That's what we're talking about. 3 already tonight. And that one right there is on Fried, not paying any attention to the runners on base. Big high leg kick, and Tyler Flowers making a statement, not even bothering making a throw.
Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach, coming out to have a talk with his young pitcher, Max Fried. Broxton his third stolen base. Saladino his first in 2018. So the Brewers putting some pressure on Fried here in the first inning. He was staked to a 2-0 lead in the opening frame. The Brewers got one back in their half of the first and now have tied it. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Well, the Brewers would love to see Kratz get going again. His first 6 games as a Brewer, he had 3 home runs. He was 10 for 23, and since then just 2 for 25.
That means he's due. He's due to get it going again. Glass half full up here.
Absolutely. 2-0 is in there for a strike. Good news is Manny Pena on the other half of that rock. You talk about the 1-2 punch with these two guys. For the most part, there's been some more consistency offensively between the two.
Yep,
maybe not all at the same time, but between them.
Yeah, Manny Pena 2 for 7 with a home run in the homestand.
Kratz late on that curveball.
Yeah, deceptive. Can't pick it up. Again, up in the zone, but on the outside corner.
Kratz awaits the 2-2 from Fried. Puts it in place. Low roller, going to be a tough play. A run is home to give the Brewers the lead. They do get the out, but Milwaukee coming back now, 3 unanswered, and they have the lead over the Braves now at 3-2 as Kratz gets the RBI in the infield out.
Well, you're not going to get a hit. That's about as good as it gets right there. You're driving the run. Not only that, but you get Saladino over to third with less than 2 outs. Put it in play. Give yourself a chance. A productive out for Eric Kratz. Good jump off third base from Keon Broxton.
Now Yoeli Chacin, the Brewer pitcher. He bats with Saladino over at third and only 1 out.
He can swing a little bit. He's got 6 hits this year. Looking for RBI number 1 on the year.
Take that .214 batting average.
That's right. Pitcher.
Fried misses to even it up.
Gotta love the way the Brewers are scoring runs tonight. Relied heavily on the home run ball against the Twins. Productive outs tonight to score some runs.
Well, they've gotten him going with the extra base hits to lead off each inning so far, a double and a triple. And they've led to runs. And Chacin lays off, so 2 balls and a strike. And just missing inside. 3-1. That's close. Good at bat so far for the Brewer pitcher. Yoeli Chacin batting for the first time tonight. And this one past the catcher. Flowers, and Saladino touches home after the miscue with Fried at the plate. Somehow that ball got dropped, and the Brewers now lead at 4-2.
Wow.
Chacin draws the walk. He's at first, and everything falling apart for Fried and the Braves.
Boy, if Fried holds on to that baseball, he's an easy out at home. That ball hit behind home plate. Came right back to Flowers. You got to be careful at third base here. Watch this baseball come back. All Fried has to do is hold on to it. He doesn't. And Saladino able to score. Well, actually, Saladino knocked it out of his glove. Check it out. He's got the glove ball. He's got it in his hand. He knocks it out of his glove.
Yep, the ball gets knocked out on contact. So everybody's safe. It's a 4-2 Milwaukee lead right now. Still only one down. And that's the top of the order now. And Jonathan Villar.
That's a good job by Saladino to slide to the infield side of home plate to force a little bit of contact. You can make contact like that. Knocked it out of his glove.
Villar right at second base, and the throw over and the double play. And that's what Fried needed to end this inning, with the Brewers continuing to put the pressure on. Extra base hits, stolen bases, and it's a 4-2 Milwaukee lead. FS1 first team sensation Mbappe leads France against Uruguay. Then Neymar and Brazil battle Belgium. The World Cup quarterfinals starting at 8 a.m. Central on FS1, or stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app. Back over here at Miller Park, Brewers with the 4-2 lead. Let's send it down to Sophia Minnaerts.
Well, Craig and Rock, you were talking about Keon Broxton's great defense. In the Twins series alone, he robbed 2 home runs. Monday night, it was Joe Mauer, and then yesterday against Brian Dozier, one of the best catches you'll see all season. And I spoke to Keon about that. And remember, Keon was committed to play college football at Florida Atlantic as a wide receiver, and we spoke about that. And he feels that that really has helped him defensively now as an outfielder. And he said it just in a number of things. He said in terms of, seeing a ball reacting off of a bat, tracking it. He said in terms of his route running, kind of that radar of where to be to find the ball. And he also said, and this one I found really interesting, just having no fear out there. He says he doesn't fear the wall or any contact or any kind of collision, because he said obviously as a wide receiver, he used to having that contact within the game. So it was interesting kind of how his football background as a receiver has helped him now be such a great outfielder.
Yeah, tough kid and incredible instincts. I mean, you can't make the catches that he makes without very good instincts, and that's something that you really can't teach. I mean, he takes a very good first step, angles back nicely, even on balls that are in front of him, to side and going back. And one of the reasons why you see Keon Broxton, he doesn't need to play shallow, because he has a lot of confidence in himself going back on balls.
Great instincts, great athleticism. That's why he's mining center field right now for Milwaukee with Lorenzo Cain out. And really, you talk about the transactions that David Stearns and the Brewers have made all season long. It seems like whoever gets called up has an immediate impact at their position, as Fried called out on strikes. So a good start for Chacin here in the 3rd inning. And Keon Broxton, an impact defensively since he's been called up in just a week and a half, but he went right to work, Rock.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of that wall. There's padding on that wall, but it's still awfully hard when you hammer into it at full speed. And just incredible stuff out of Keon Broxton. I mean, the instincts to know exactly where to jump. He knows Miller Park. He knows that's an extra wide warning track, and a lot of guys get messed up on that warning track here, but Keon Broxton knows it well.
All right, one down for the Braves here in the third. Inciarte, the batter, top of the order now. And he was hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the first inning. Kind of an off-balance start for Yoeli Chacin in that first inning, but he's been able to regroup. Just needed 12 pitches in a 3-up, 3-down second inning, and opens up with a called third strike on Max Fried here in the third. And no timeout called by the home plate umpire, Jeff Kellogg. Inciarte said he called time, and you have to be granted time by the home plate umpire, and a strike is called.
And players can't call timeout, can ask for time.
And Chacin just misses on the outside with that curveball.
He was already winding up. Inciarte asking for timeout, and Chacin just gooses one down the middle.
Pulled, strike three on the outside corner, and Inciarte and Kellogg exchanging words.
And Jeff Kellogg giving Inciarte a long leash, arguing balls and strikes. And backdoor curveball gave him a little bit off the edge. You can see where Inciarte get a little irritated with that. But both of them handled it pretty well.
Here's Albies now with 2 down. Ozzie Albies, an RBI triple back in the first, also scored the second run of the game. Hammers this one into the right field corner again, and he is on the run. And he'll stop at second base and settle for the 2-out double. He's in scoring position here in the third inning.
I think the fastball in is not a good plan of attack against Albies. He has crushed a couple of them. Well, you can see where Kratz was setting up, and Chacin missed by the entire width of the plate. It was supposed to be away, ended up down and in. Rips another one down the right field corner.
Boy, Albies leads the league in runs, doubles, total bases, extra base hits. 28th double of the season already for Albies. And he just may get voted in to start at second base for the National League as Freddie Freeman steps in. All-Star voting ends at 10:59 tonight. And as the day began, Albies was the front runner at second. Freddie Freeman, who's batting now at first, and Nick Markakis out in the outfield. This one launched into right, hit well. Yelich right there on the warning track, and picks up the third out. A late threat here in the third, but the Brewers keep their 4-2 lead.
9 p.m. Central. And the Brewers are counting on you to stuff the ballot boxes. Go to brewers.com/vote and cast your ballot up to 5 times today to help send your hometown crew to Washington this July. That's the way it shapes up right now. No Brewer on the list. You got to figure there's going to be a couple of Brewers going to the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, Jesus Aguilar has really got equal numbers with Freddie Freeman, if not better, over there at first base. And he wasn't even the opening day first baseman. Didn't take over until 2-3 weeks into the season. And really after that first month as Christian Yelich steps in. A lot of Brewers with all-star caliber seasons, but Jesus Aguilar certainly has opened up a lot of eyes. So's Josh Hader.
Jeremy Jeffress.
Jeremy Jeffress, you bet. Yelich struck out back in the first. Brewer offense have done a nice job against Fried after trailing 2-0 to open up before they even reach the plate and now have a 4-2 lead.
Well, we were saying that, you know, the Brewers are going to have to swing the bats in this series because the Braves can swing with the best of them. So far, so good. 4 runs in the first 2 innings.
Three balls and a strike against Yelich. Tenth in runs in the National League for Yelich with 52. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And missing high and outside, so Yelich draws a leadoff walk here in the Brewer third.
That third walk issued by Fried tonight.
Take a look at our home run leaderboard in the National League as Jesus Aguilar steps in. Our Powerball home run leaderboard for Milwaukee. Aguilar with 19. Shaw's missed some time. He's got 15. Launched one yesterday. And Eric Thames climbing back up the chart with 12.
Man, both of these teams can hit homers.
Nice curveball by Fried in for strike 1 on Aguilar. And the home run ball enormous for Milwaukee at that sweep of the Twins. Look no further than game 2. The Thames 2-run home run was all the scoring between both the clubs in that 2-0 victory. And then 3 solo home runs yesterday in a 3-2 win.
Man, Brewers second in the league in homers. The Atlanta Braves 5th.
Aguilar misses. Ball and 2 strikes.
Well, 73 miles an hour. Boy, he takes a lot off of that pitch and is still able to get good break on it. That's tough to do. That's some incredible spin rate on that curveball to throw it that slowly and get that much break.
Here's your high-low for Fried so far. The pitch range varying 24 miles an hour. And Aguilar tries to wait and just does catch a piece of that one.
You can see why, you know, some folks will compare Fried to Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels, very similar stuff. Of course, Cole Hamels has got the pedigree. He's had the success in the big leagues. Fried has not. But I mean, as far as pitches go, they're very similar.
This kid's got some confidence and good stuff. This time a check over at first. There's been a lot of talk, you know, with the Braves' position in the National League East, what they might do at the trade deadline. Their depth in their minor league system is pitching. Of course, this is Fried's only 4th start here this season. 7th in his young career. They want to keep this guy in a Brave uniform, though. High drive center field. Inciarte.
Just missed it. And Fried got that pitch up enough to get Aguilar underneath it. He had a good swing. Get that pitch down, maybe inch or two, and he's going to drive that one out of here. But got it up, did Fried, and Aguilar pops it up.
So Yelich still at first. One down for Ryan Braun. He grounded out the third back in the first inning. Tell you that hit that Perez had back in the second, that triple that went the opposite way down the line, that reminded me of the Ryan Braun type shots that go down the line the opposite way.
They don't slice either way, and he got on top of it, very similar to what Ryan Braun's able to do on balls he hits the right field. Straight as a string down the line.
Another slow chopper. Fried to second. The relay to first will be late. They'll get Yelich the lead runner, and Braun at first with two down.
Fried handles his position pretty well. He fields extremely well. He bounced off the mound and threw a strike to second. Rays have been good defensively all season long. Fourth best in the NL.
So here's Perez, who tripled in the second, and that triggered a 3-run inning for Milwaukee. Well, Perez went from not getting very many at bats because of the guys in front of him to all of a sudden he got some key hits and has had a lot of opportunities in that Brewer infield at third, shortstop, some second base.
Yeah, get off to a very slow start at the plate. Starting to swing much better now, using the whole field much better than he did early in the season.
Getting his 9th start tonight over at third base. He started at 6 different positions already on the season for Milwaukee. The versatility and swing of the bat will keep him in there too.
Yeah, and every team has a guy like Perez, maybe not as proficient at all the positions that Arenado is, but you gotta have those guys on your bench. But you only have 4 or 5 guys on the bench.
2-1 now to Perez. Four to 2 Brewers here in the third. 2 down. Braun over at first. No check on Braun. Ryan always a base threat to steal. 7 stolen bases on the season. Brewers already with 3 early in this game against Fried. And Perez to left, and it gets through. Base hit. Braun a big turn at second. He'll hold there. And the Brewers making a threat here with 2 down in their half of the third.
And making some pretty good contact here tonight. See the changeup that time up in the zone. Perez, after tripling down the right field line, able to pull one in the hole. Swanson dives over the top of it, and it continues.
Here's Broxton. Chance to add to the Brewer lead with Braun out at second, Perez at first. Kean walked, hit a stolen base, and scored back in the second inning. Again with that curveball. You can see the patience at the plate by Milwaukee tonight. It becomes real physical with that curveballs coming in at 72, 73. Another one. Looked like it may have hit the top of the strike zone, but it's ball one. Brewers threatening to go, and they've got Braun leaning out at second base, and there's your third out in the inning. Both Brewer runners on the move, but Fried hadn't attempted his move to first yet, and the Brewers get caught this time. A lot of success so far on the bases, not there, and it's 4-2 heading to the fourth. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. To the fourth we go. The Brewers had trailed 2-0 to open up the game in the first to the Braves, but have rallied and have a 4-2 lead now as we head to the top of the fourth from a steamy Miller Park, waiting for a cool front to come through tonight, and we should have great weather for the rest of this weekend. First of three, Brewers and the Braves here in Milwaukee, and so far so good for Yolis Chassin, who's up there against Nick Markakis again to start the fourth inning. Gave up those 2 early runs and have rebounded nicely against some pretty good bats.
He's been keeping the ball on the edges for the most part. He's made a couple of location mistakes, but yeah, for the most part against a very good hitting ball club. So far so good first time through.
Markakis, the National League hits leader, flew out to left field his first trip up. Nice curveball called strike 3. Chassin, another strikeout, his third.
And it's been a money pitch for him lately. There's been a lot of discussions between Braves hitters and Jeff Kellogg tonight. I remember Inciarte got called out on a backdoor curveball that looked like it might have been away. That one clearly in the strike zone.
So Inciarte and Markakis have had some words for Jeff Kellogg. All going Chassin's way. He'll take him. Pitching well.
The discussions have been going very politely, though.
Yes, they have.
Nobody getting excited.
Tyler Flowers, the batter. Well, a lot of that's on the home plate umpire, whoever he is. If you have a short leash on the discussion or not, right?
Little thin skin, maybe they can ring you up quickly.
Flowers lined out to short his first time up. As you take a look at the Brewer defense, Perez and Saladino on the left side, VR and Jesus Aguilar on the right, and Aguilar will take the slow roller for the second out.
And knuckle buster able to get him on the weak grounder. Hey, kick off your weekend by saving 50% on Brewers tickets. The Brewers host the Braves tomorrow evening, and all 5 county residents can get half-price tickets for the matchup. Lock in your seats today by visiting brewers.com/tickets. 50% off tickets for a Major League Baseball game against 2 first-place teams.
Bargain of the year.
No kidding.
Here's Camargo with 2 down. Grounded out back in the second inning. And Chacin right now just pouring in the strikes. He's hit a nice groove since that first inning.
And really in the first inning, basically it was a hit, bat, and a triple. That's what cost him. Other than that, he's been really good. Albies is the only guy that's been able to figure him out.
Yeah, he's retired 11 of 12 since then. And the 1-2. And Camargo's able to check his swing. So 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty close.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Chacin very efficient 4th inning. Couple of strikeouts, and he preserves the 2-run cushion right now as the Brewers come to bat in the 4th.
For all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
All right, back here at Miller Park, bottom of the 4th we go. The Brewers a 4-2 lead, and already a new pitcher that they will face early in this ball game is Shane Carl. Replaces Max Fried.
Yeah, really good numbers for Carl. 36th appearance, 4-1 record out of the bullpen already. And here we sit in the beginning of July, 2.8 and 293 earned run average. Well, not sure what happened with Fried. Had to be an injury situation. Yeah, Carl has been good, but his last 2 outings has given up 5 runs in 3 1/3 innings. So leaking a little bit of oil is Carl as of late.
Well, the Brewers tagging him for 4 runs on the major league level this season. For him, is the most he has given up, but only 3 innings for Max Fried. So Carl's on board. He'll face Keon Broxton, who was at the plate back in the 3rd when Fried got Ryan Braun leading off 3rd. Technically the caught stealing, but it was the 3rd out, so he gets a fresh set of downs, if you will, as long as we're talking about him playing some football.
Yeah, that's right.
Broxton with some real good numbers in his career against the Braves. Also included his first career hit that he got in Atlanta a couple of years ago. That courtesy of our buddy Brian Anderson, who's watching and listening in tonight.
Is he texting you stuff?
He's texting me some good stuff, my man.
Wow.
Yeah, he's on it.
Huh. I must have lost my number.
There's nothing you don't know, my friend. Two balls and a strike to Broxton. 2-2 the count now.
And Carl mixes it up. 4-pitch mix, pretty good. He'll throw a 2-seamer, 4-seamer, slider, curveball. Every now and again a changeup. Not overpowering at all.
Rookie reliever for the Braves. Got a good young staff here as this one just misses outside.
Actually, that one 95. Kind of a surprise. Every now and again he'll give you that.
Broxton spoils one. Shane Carl will turn 27 on August 30th. Santa Cruz, California native. And a swing and a miss. Broxton is down here in the Brewer 4th. Baseball is coming your way Saturday as the Brewers host the Braves at 2:30 Central on FS1. Then the Dodgers take on Mike Trout and the Angels at 6 Central on Fox. You can stream it live on Fox Sports app or watch them on the networks. So the Brewers on national TV on Saturday. They're starting to get some national exposure as we have hit the midway point of the season. Game number 87 for Milwaukee. Best record in the National League. Been saying that for a while now. Saladino in there. Takes a strike.
Yep, 16 games over 500. That happened yesterday. The 7th time that the Brewers tried to get to 16 games over 500. Lost the previous 6 games.
I thought it was interesting, Rock, you were talking about it earlier in our telecast, is the Brewers and Craig Counsell with that 1-game lead over Chicago in the NL Central. The Brewers at 51-35. They're tied for their most wins after 86 games, and it's been tough to make the playoffs for those prior teams.
Yeah, only won 82. The only start like this the Brewers have had in their franchise history to end up getting to the postseason. Craig Counsell will be the first to tell you, being in first place right now is great. Gives a lot of confidence, but you want to be in first place at the end of the year.
Well, I like how he termed it when he was asked about it after, 81 games, that official halfway point in the season. He said, what you can basically say is we've earned it right now. They played well.
They've earned the expectations that they had coming into the season.
Ball and 2 strikes. This one hammered down the left field line, foul. Those best records in Brewers franchise history. So this year's team matched 2014, 1982, and 1978. So 78 and 14. The Brewers did not make the playoffs. They made their only World Series appearance in 1982. Fastball misses bottom of the zone to even it up at 2-2. Saladino, who's missed a little more than a month of action on the disabled list, has had some pretty impressive at-bats here tonight.
He said he felt good down in the minor leagues. I mean, it's not the same as being in the big leagues, but he had some time with AAA, played a couple of games in Round Rock. Good take.
Full count now to Saladino.
Difficult pitch to lay off with 2 strikes.
One out here in the 4th. Here's the 3-2. Saladino grounds one to third. And 2 down. Two down now for Eric Kratz. Shane Carl in relief of Max Fried here in the 4th inning. Kratz grounded out back in the 2nd inning, but that brought a run home. Hammers this one center field. Inciarte on the run, and he'll catch up to it as the ball hangs here in the heat and humidity at Miller Park. So the Brewers go 1-2-3. We head to the 5th. It's 4-2 Milwaukee. We go to yesterday, 4th of July, the fireworks going, and Nate Orf comes up with his first major league hit, and it is a home run into the left field corner. Craig Counsell, big smile, and then Nate Orf gets halted to the top by Aguilar and Pena for the curtain call. I don't know if you've ever seen a curtain call like that before.
No, never saw one of those.
Boy, what a...
We've seen a lot of really cool moments, you know, this year. Been a lot of them. That might be on the top of the list.
Yeah, joyous group of Brewers all season long, but it was the smiles and the celebration there in the dugout for Orf's home run, and then Broxton's catch, you know, just a short time later in that 9th inning was almost equal, if not. I mean, you're talking about 2 pretty dramatic situations for Milwaukee.
Yep, one to score a run, one to save a run, right? What's the difference? They're the same.
Let's get more reaction from Nate Orff in his first major league hit, the home run from Sophia Minner.
Well, Craig, we talked about those two dramatic moments yesterday with Craig Counsell before the game, and he talked about first Keon Broxton's catch. He said, look, nobody robs a home run like Keon, and nobody celebrates robbing a home run like Keon. He said just the pure joy that he plays with. And then we also talked about Nate Orff and that home run, the curtain call. We saw just Craig Counsell's reaction, the big smile, just the joy that everyone had for Nate Orff in that moment. And it goes back to the connection that Counsell has wanted to build and establish with this team. Even going back to last year, he said when you're playing fun, he said you were enjoying, we're celebrating each other's successes. And so that's an important part of a long baseball season and something that he embraces and allows these players to just be themselves and have that kind of energy out on the field.
And just to give you some indication of what the Brewers feel about Nate Orff, I mean, you know, with Saladino coming back, they elect to designate Eric Sogard for assignment as opposed to sending Nate Orff back to AAA. So they feel as though he's an asset to the club and he gets to stick around.
Well, Nate Orff became the 10th Brewer player in franchise history to belt a home run as his first career hit. Tyler Cravey did it, Brewer relief pitcher, back in 2016. Corey Hart, the last position player to do it, all the way to 2005. So it's quite an accomplishment there. Perez, and a nice pick by Aguilar for the out at first.
That's sweet. This guy's good. I mean, he's not just a hitter, he's a baseball player. Aguilar doesn't get enough credit for what he does at first base. This is a tough pick. I mean, Perez hums one over there, and check out the hop. Aguilar able to handle it. He gets down low. Then you get down low to try to get your eyes as close to the level of that bounce as you can, and he's able to pick it. Well done.
Acuna Jr. retired. Dansby Swanson now batting for the second time here in the 5th inning. Pop up into right field. VR calls for it. He comes out of his shift over on the shortstop side. 2 down. I will say in all the years that I've covered this team, Rock, with you, and we're talking about 18 years now, I've never seen a player that has received the support and really, I guess if you just look at where the Brewers sit with Orff right now, how happy the organization is to give him his shot here finally at the age of 28.
Well, you know what? I mean, Brewer fans, they know what's going on. I mean, they understand, you know, the minor leagues and the guys that are down there and what Nate Orff had to do to get to the major leagues. Craig Counsell said it best with a guy like Nate Orff. And maybe, you know, the Brewers skipper had to deal with the same kind of things because they're very similar. No real eye-popping abilities, but they get the job done. Nate Orff, I would imagine, heard a lot of no's in his career. A non-drafted free agent, signed for $500, and those are normally the guys that are first to go when a spot opens up. But he persisted.
And a good quick inning for Chacin on the hill as Carl strikes out. We are 4.5 in the books, and the Brewers with a 4-2 lead.
out in Washington, D.C. between the Marlins and the Nationals. The Marlins took a 9-0 lead after 4 innings. Then Trey Turner got them on the board with a solo home run, and that was the start of a special comeback for the Nationals. He then came up with a grand slam in the 6th, his first career grand slam, that gave them the lead at 10-9, and that's currently the score in the bottom of the 7th as the Nationals score 10 unanswered runs. Now, this is crazy. We know the Nationals have struggled lately. They've scored 10 runs in the last 3 innings, and in their previous 46 innings, they had scored just 10 runs combined.
Wow.
So the Nationals have woken up here tonight.
No kidding. Wow.
What a fun one to watch there for sure. You don't see those kind of comebacks very often in this league.
You're kind of feeling pretty good about yourself when you have a 9-0 lead on the road.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, here's Yolis Chacin to lead off the Brewers' 5th. Nice job he has done out on the mound after giving up those 2 runs in the opening frame, and one of the runs kind of caught him off guard, a little comebacker to him with the runner over at third base in Albies, and kind of lobbed one over to first base. Suddenly you're down 2-0 going, what just happened here? He's refocused and done a nice job against a very potent offense. And he punches this one into right. Markakis for the first out.
Nothing wrong with that hack. Hit it well.
So here's Jonathan Villar. 1 for 2. Had a double, stole a base, and scored a run back in the first, and then grounded into a double play in the 2nd inning. He continues to have a solid season out at second base for Milwaukee. The Brewers have kept him all season long exclusively over there at second base, and they've moved around their other utility infielders. Perez, Saladino, Miller, Sogard when he was here.
And VR now hitting from the left side, and this year, unlike most seasons, much better as a right-handed hitter, hitting .245 as a lefty.
Big cut by VR there, 0-2. As Shane Carl works his 2nd inning of relief.
And this is where you want to be if you want to try and beat the Atlanta Braves. Their bullpen has scuffled this year. 11th in earned run average in the National League. Starters are 2nd. So you get to the starters, you get to the bullpen, and normally that's your best chance to win.
VR right center. Inciarte at the wall and makes the catch. Hung a little bit too long out there in right center.
Another good swing by Jonathan VR. Check it out. Looked like a changeup. He waited back nicely on it. Just didn't quite have enough backbone into that one. A little bit out in front. That body drifting a little bit, and that's what kept it in the ballpark.
Two down for Yelich. Punches this one the opposite way, foul. Yelich a walk and a strikeout in this one. Brewers scoring all 4 of their runs without a home run in this game. They've got a streak of 10 straight games where they've hit at least 1 home run.
Well, Brewers able to score a couple of runs tonight on outs. Fly ball by Aguilar, sac fly, and a ground out by Eric Kratz.
Those are good positive signs, though, don't you agree?
Yes, those are, you have to be able to score runs like that. You can't rely on the home run all the time, or the hits to drive in runs.
Yelich fly ball right field. Markakis doesn't have to move too far, and a quick inning for Shane Carl. 1, 2, 3 the Brewers go here in the 5th to the 6th we had from Miller Park.
We head to the 6th, and we all recognize the heroes on the field. But this season, the Brewers and Meyer want to honor the heroes that make a difference off the field in our community. And each month, one outstanding local individual will be recognized on the field and throw out the ceremonial first pitch. So if you'd like to nominate someone you know, you can visit brewers.com/community.
All right, Sophia, thanks very much as we head to the 6th inning here now at Miller Park, as Yolis Chassin back out on the hill to face the Braves. Inciarte to lead this one off.
There's about 25 heroes on the field yesterday before the game. Wasn't that a great ceremony?
That was as good as a pregame ceremony gets. It really is a classy thing for the Brewers to do to honor the honor flight veterans. And
they gave them Brewers jerseys with the veterans name on the back, and that means an awful lot to those guys.
Yeah, it really does.
Good stuff. Good job by the Brewers and the Brewer players.
It's a great human connection to make, and these Brewer players wanted to hear some stories and share their stories as well, and a two-way appreciation to be sure. Slow roller, tough play, and can't be made out there as Inciarte at his speed for the infield hit. And we'll take a look at that ceremony that we were talking about, as the Brewers all had their jerseys with the names of the honor flight vets on the back, and so it became a great meeting, a great one-on-one for 25 individuals. So all 25 Brewer players and the 25 veterans on hand, and great 4th of July moment here at Miller Park. And Rock, you were able to share a great story with your family, Billy, and your son-in-law Perry on our pregame show yesterday.
Yeah, great kids, and they sacrifice a lot to be away from families. The families sacrifice a lot being away from their loved ones, and that's what the military is all about, sacrifice.
Ozzie Albies here with Inciarte at first.
There's a good pitch. Pulled the string on him. Just kind of try and stay away from the middle part of the plate, middle in. This guy, he's ripped a couple of fastballs in down the right field line.
Albies, the doubles leader in the National League. He's got one here tonight, also a triple. And this one, Broxton on the run and makes the catch. Deion Broxton showing off his speed, crossing the field.
Once again, good first step, good angle. Yeah, you delay a little bit or you take a bad route to that baseball, it's going to find the gap. And check out Broxton. He was shaded toward right, able to grab it about 2 feet off the ground and making a nice catch and getting it in quickly to the infield. He makes it look so easy. He really does. He just glides to the baseball.
Down and out, gain of 21 on that one, I think. Here's Freddie Freeman with one down.
And most people don't realize, I mean, you don't see it really. You know, you go up to him in the batting. He's a big guy. He's tall.
He is.
I mean, he's about as tall as I am, about 6'3". Runs like the wind. And just has incredible instincts in the outfield.
I remember when the Brewers acquired him a few years ago, Rock, when we went to spring training for the first time. And, you know, you have Keon Broxton, Domingo Santana when he first came aboard. Brett Phillips. I mean, you're talking about showing up and seeing some difference maker athletes.
Yeah, big guys, big athletes.
Yep.
You know, and they can do a lot of things to help you win games. And they added a couple in the offseason too.
Yep, they did. Kane and Yelich, big-time veteran athletes. And right now, they're on the mend like Lorenzo Cain right now, still on that DL, and Yelich missing some time. These guys have had a chance to shine and done a nice job. It's 1-1 to Freddie Freeman.
It's becoming a nice pitch for Chassin. That split kind of works as a change, kind of like the Jeremy Jeffers split change.
Few Brewer pitchers using that a little more often since Junior Guerra came aboard. He seems to be using it a little less, and some others are starting to pick it up a little bit as a weapon.
And he had a good one on Tuesday to Junior. One of his best splitters that he's had this year.
Two balls and a strike to Freeman. Nice scoop by Kratz. 3 balls and 1 strike.
I got to be careful here. He lined out to right his last time up. He hit it very hard, but on a line and was sinking as it got out there. 16 home runs on the season for Freeman.
And Chacin lost him, so 2 aboard now with 1 down here in the 6th inning. And here's Nick Markakis.
And you figure Craig Counsell's bullpen is a little bit thin tonight. Not sure if you're going to use Knebel. He's pitched 3 days in a row. Hader might be down again for 1 more day. 3 innings for Hader a couple of days ago. So we'd like to be able to get a little bit more out of Chacin tonight. No activity in the bullpen.
So Sophia Minert letting us know that Corey Knebel is not available here tonight. Got that word in, and so it's going to be up to that crew out there. Knebel over on the far left.
He's got the hoodie working. A little bit warm for a hoodie.
Must be one of those nights that if you're not available, you're trying to lose maybe a half a pound.
Like they need it. Right. Maybe I should be wearing one.
We'll have to get you out to the bullpen for that.
Double up.
You're in some nice cool AC right now, which is good. It's good for me that you're in AC. Markakis takes ball 1.
Suppose to cool off big time tomorrow,
Yeah,
huh?
it is.
70, the high is 70.
That'll be a switch.
Man.
And now 2-0.
As good as he was early in the game, finding those corners, he's having a difficult time of it right now. But the one good thing, he's missing off the plate, not down the middle.
Markakis 0 for 2, struck out looking his last time up. There's a strike falling into place for Chacin. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dangerous middle part of this order, the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Markakis the cleanup hitter here. All 3 among the top 4 in hits in the National League. This one bounces the other way. Perez steps on the bag. High throw in time for the double play. And just what Chacin needed to end the threat here in the 6th inning. A backhanded play by Perez. He steps on his half, and a nice throw to Aguilar across the way. 2-0 and have rallied their way to a lead here in our Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game just moments ago. Perez with the double play to end the 6-inning threat. And Junior Guerra can certainly appreciate that. Nice job by Perez playing third base for Travis Shaw here tonight. And Milwaukee takes that 2-run lead, trying to add to it as we open up the 6th inning. Jesus Aguilar will lead off for Milwaukee.
They're going to try to compensate for that low throw he made early in the game. Threw down a little bit high, but Aguilar able to handle it.
Shane Carl in to work his 3rd inning in relief. Aguilar responsible for an RBI and the sacrifice fly back in the 1st inning. Flew out to center back in the 3rd, so this is his 3rd at bat. Jesus Aguilar looks like a pretty good bet to make the All-Star team. At least the numbers are there. 303 with 19 home runs and 56 RBIs coming in.
They just got to keep hitting until the game's first half is over. Got to keep it going.
And he's able to just catch a piece of that ball to stay alive. Well, if you look at Freddie Freeman's numbers over there at first base for Atlanta, and he's the leader as far as the votes go, as you take a look at the home run leaders overall right now. Before April 21st and after, this guy has made a name for himself among some of the better names sluggers in the game.
No home runs, no RBIs until April 19th. First home run on the 21st. Amazing stuff.
Well, Freeman's numbers pretty similar with Aguilar's, but Aguilar has played in almost 80 fewer games, if you can think about that, or at bats I should say, not games. You like those opportunities.
Yeah. Well, as far as the All-Star game goes and the voting, I mean, Freddie Freeman's got the name. I mean, he's been around a long time. He's had a lot of very good seasons, and sometimes it takes a year or two to get that recognition. And again, I mean, Aguilar wasn't even on the ballot, right? I mean, he wasn't a starter on opening day, but still deserves to be there for sure.
And this time Aguilar, pretty good at bat there, but strikes out. 2nd strikeout for Carl.
Yep, a change up that's down and in, and Aguilar over the top of it. Good pitch by Carl. Every now and again he'll break that pitch out. A good one right there. Had some good sink to it as it gets to home plate.
Ryan Braun bats for the 3rd time tonight. 1 down here in the Brewers 6th. Brewers have done well offensively against the National League East. They've averaged a little over 7 runs a game in their play in 2018. In fact, they've had 7 10-run games this season. 5 of those have come against the East. Game below 500 against their division foes, and you know they'll want to pick that up before the end of the year. But you know, if you can make up some ground right now among the other teams, it's one of the reasons why they sit where they're at right now. Run right to 2nd, and there's 2 outs. Time now for StatCast, powered by AWS, and it's Hernan Perez back in the 2nd inning. Watch this one zip down the right field line all the way into the corner, and look at him go. Perez winds up at 3rd.
Cutting those bases nicely.
And the fastest of the day from home to 3rd. Measured out nicely for Perez as he gets another shot here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, he can run, no doubt. And he was thinking triple as soon as that ball got by first base.
Carroll throwing a lot of strikes in his relief appearance here.
He's got some good off-speed stuff, and he's throwing hard tonight. 95. He's hit on a number of occasions. He really struggled his previous 2 appearances. But before that, outstanding work.
Made his major league debut a year ago for the Braves, so kind of a similar storyline for their 2 pitchers so far, and Fried and Carl here tonight facing Milwaukee. Braves starting pitching has been pretty strong. Their offense has been outstanding as they have soared their way up to the National League East top of the standings. As this one lifted just into the seats. Maybe a weakness right now, bullpen for the Braves.
Yeah, well, I think the Braves are trying to, bolster that pen with some moves at the trading deadline, but good luck with that. I mean, if you're a team that has some pretty good relief pitching, you're not really figuring you're going to get rid of it. Even teams that are kind of so-so, 500 teams, you want to keep those guys around for a while. It's tough to find good relievers.
Perez rips one into center field. Inciarte on the run and makes a nice catch. And that ends the 6th inning for Milwaukee. We head to the 7th. It's still 4-2 Brewers. Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Brewers smiling a bit here tonight with a 4-2 lead. It's been a nice comeback as they trailed by 2 in the opening frame. And Ulysses Chacin has been able to shut down the Braves ever since. The Brewer bats have picked him up. As we head to the 7th inning now as Flowers leads off against Ulysses Chacin. Pitch count looking pretty nice right now at 83 here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Mr. Consistency, Ulysses Chacin. He's really had the one bad outing 2 starts ago, but throw that one out because he's been great ever since. He's been great, for a stretch now. Eating up innings all of a sudden. That was the big deal for him early in the season. He wasn't able to do it. Pitch count got him a lot. Much more efficient.
And Flowers can't check his swing there as the first base umpire James Hoy rings him up.
Yeah, good breaking pitch. Yep, looked like he went.
Another strikeout for Chacin. 6 strikeouts. for the veteran pitcher. Here's Camargo.
That's been the pitch right there. That backdoor curveball tonight. He's been keeping it away from the inner half of the plate to these lefties. Catching the outside corner with. That's a tough pitch to stay with. A lot of hitters give up on it thinking it's going to be away. Then it's coming back to catch the edge.
This one up the middle. Defense right there. Saladino. And there's 2 down.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, the Thirsty Bear Pub in Deerbrook. If they call the Brewers by 10 a.m. tomorrow, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. You know where Deerbrook is?
No, I actually don't, Rock.
Just north of Anago. You know where Anago is?
Oh, yeah. That's north. Way north. Good part of the country to be in the summertime, I will say that. How packed do you think that area is right up here during the 4th of July week, where you have the holiday right on a Wednesday, so you got both weekends to deal with?
Yep, the Chain of Lakes up there. Fun.
And Okuna got hit by a pitch. And Craig Counsell coming out to check with Jeff Kellogg.
Kellogg said it didn't swing.
Craig Counsell may be asking him if he could ask for help on that call.
Let's check it out. I mean, did it hit the knob of the bat, or did it hit the hand, or both? If it hits the knob of the bat at all, it's a foul ball. If it hits both, it's a foul ball.
And the Brewers are checking, and they will challenge. Close enough to take a look.
Yeah, well, 7th inning. And tying run at the plate. And why not? If it hits any part of the bat, the knob of the bat, it's going to be a foul ball. And I think it does hit the knob of the bat. Check it out. Super slow motion. Where does it hit? Definitely hits the knob of the bat.
Good call. It appears to have hit there.
Well, the only thing is, I mean, is there enough evidence to overturn it?
Well, it's a reviewable play, and that's what.
See, he's shaking out. You know, he's telling everybody that his left hand is the one that hit. It clearly did not hit the left hand. If anything, it hit the right hand. So, yeah, we'll see. And they're going to give him first base.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, you never know. You never know what they come up with in New York. Well, he got away with one here. There's no way that ball hit his bottom hand, and that's what he was shaking out. That hit the knob of the bat. Not sure what they're looking at in New York, but oh well.
So a 2-out base runner as the call stands. 4-2 game. And Swanson thought about bunting there. Took a strike. Swanson 0 for 2 in this one.
Still has that curveball working.
Chacin with 2 down, runner at first, tying run at the plate. Ahead 2 strikes.
Yeah, bounce it this time.
Brett sets up outside. Runner goes, swing and a miss. And Chassin, you could see it, he had him in it. I want to take care of this on my own. And the big fella comes up with his 8th strikeout. And the Brewers and Chassin preserve their 4-2 lead. Our Powerball home run total for the Brew Crew. Well, their home runs have reached a streak now. 17 home runs over their last 10 games. In 10 straight games, they have homered and powered their way past the Twins. Boy, those home runs were big in that series to open it up. Nate Orf had his first major league hit, was a home run in yesterday's game as well. And some time here to try to keep that streak alive. And the Brewers could use some extra runs here as their lead 2. And we saw that last inning. As soon as you get a base runner on, all of a sudden your lead is big time threatened.
Right, and the Braves are going to be having the top of the order coming up. 9th spot, then 1-2 coming up. As the veteran Sam Freeman comes on. 42nd appearance, a 489 earned run average. One of 4, count them, 4 lefties in that Braves bullpen. Freeman had a rough June. 12 games in June and 849 earned run average.
Yeah, giving up runs pretty tough for him during that stretch. Comes into this game trailing by 2 runs, so his job is to hold the Brewers in check. Broxton walked and scored a run back in the 2nd inning. Also has a stolen base tonight. Struck out back in the 4th. Two balls and a strike to the Brewers center fielder, who's been busy here tonight in game 1 of this series against the Braves. It's always good to talk about how good a guy plays defense, and that he can bring you some new fresh highlights during the game.
Yeah, he's not short on those. Just has to find that consistency at the plate. I mean, he can be so good and then go into stretches where he has a difficult time making contact.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Broxton. And a cold 3rd strike as Freeman drops a curveball in there.
Hey, this Sunday, all fans at Miller Park for the matchup with the Braves will take home a retro Robin Yount 1970s replica jersey. That's courtesy of Orbis Corporation. Secure your seats at brewers.com.
That's a good looking jersey right there, by the way.
Yeah. Wonder if Robin's going to show up for it.
It's amazing how often he stops in Milwaukee.
He comes sliding in every now and again. Sometimes incognito. Got a lot going on in Milwaukee, actually. He comes up here quite a bit.
Usually we'll see him up in the press box when he comes in because he's got to stop in and see you.
He's got the Chinooks up there, up in Mequon.
Yep. Bob's been on the DL the last couple of days with that.
Yeah, I saw him at the ballpark today. I don't know if he's doing a game or not.
He's not doing a game tonight. I think he's hoping maybe tomorrow. Scratched his eye a few days ago.
Yeah.
He's been coming every game, though. We had a big 4th of July get-together yesterday, as a matter of fact.
In the booth?
The booth was busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeman pouring in the strikes.
Saladino just reinstated off the disabled list in time to make the start here tonight. Had a base hit, stolen base, scored a run on a wild pitch back in the 2nd inning.
And Freeman's had time with the Cardinals, the Texas Rangers. Actually pitched for the Brewers a little bit back in 2016. And now at the Braves.
Braves have quite a blend of young stars on the rise and then also some veterans. And that's been an interesting mix. That's what they really kind of intended to build when they went through their rebuilding process. It wasn't so much of a break it down from scratch and from the bottom build up.
Added some pieces, made some pretty good trades, dumping payroll.
And Saladino, good at bat, draws the walk.
No, that didn't miss by much. Just at the bottom of the strike zone. Tough pitch to take.
One down, a runner at first for Eric Kratz. Brewer catcher with an RBI back in the 2nd inning on an infield ground out.
The Brewers have activity down in their bullpen. Looks like Dan Jennings. A lot of left-handers in that lineup for the Braves. That's why you see Jennings getting loose.
Well, between these two clubs, there are 7 relievers in the bullpen.
Yeah. Lefties.
I mean, lefty relievers, right. Craig Counsell getting into that late inning pace, the back and forth in the dugout. Another close game here at Miller Park.
As you mentioned, he's going to have to finish this one up and a little bit differently than he would like. A couple of his big guns not available tonight.
Here's a good look at that bullpen.
2 guys in hoodies.
That's a big swing there. Catches a piece of that baseball. Staying alive with the 0-2 pitch. Cubs are idle tonight, so if the Brewers get a win, they'll increase their lead to a 1.5 games in the Central. Freeman keeping an eye on Saladino. Pratt strikes out. So 2 down.
Got him on the inside corner. Yeah, good pitch by Freeman, and throwing strikes has always been his issue. At least it was when he was a Brewer. Throwing a lot of strikes tonight.
So Nate Orf will be the pinch hitter for Ulysses Chassin. Chassin's night is done. 7 strong innings, and Nate Orf, another great ovation. With that home run yesterday, his first major league hit. Brewer fans here well aware of his story for the 28-year-old just called up earlier this week for the first time to the majors.
Very knowledgeable baseball fans here in Milwaukee.
Orf taking a hack at that first pitch from Freeman.
How about the night for Chassin, though? You're talking about one of the best hitting teams in the NL. He's limited them to 2 runs and hasn't given up anything since the first. What a performance again.
7 strikeouts for Chassin, just 3 hits. And just 1 walk. Very efficient as Orf spoils another one, so he falls behind 2 strikes.
That 1 walk, a couple of hit batters.
Chassin goes 7 innings. Freddie Peralta the last to do that as a Brewer starter on June 26th. And Orf able to check his swing.
James Hoy's been busy down there at first base on the check swing.
He sure has.
Been a bunch of those tonight. Close.
One-two to Orf, and he strikes out this time in a pinch hitter role here in the 7th inning, and that's how it'll end here for Milwaukee. Still up 4-2 as we head to the 8th. Of the 8th inning. And how about Ulysses Chassin tonight? Gave up 2 early runs and then went to work right after that.
Well, I think he realized right away that the curveball was the pitch for him, and in particular to left-handed batters, that curveball that was catching the outside corner, which is a lot of times due to the angle is a very difficult pitch to throw for a strike and get a good break on it. So he had 7 strikeouts. He had the 1 walk. He did hit a couple of batters. Outstanding work once again. He threw a nice changeup right there, that split change. Dan Jennings takes over here in the 8th inning. And Jennings on the season, earned run average about 3.5. Game number 40 for him here tonight. And no Josh Hader, no Corey Knebel, so Craig Counsell is going to have to be creative in getting to the finish line here tonight.
So Jennings steps up to the mound, and Charlie Culberson will step into the batter's box. He'll be the pinch hitter in the number 9 spot for the pitcher.
And Jennings was outstanding his last time out. That was on Monday against the Twins. 2 scoreless innings, a couple of strikeouts, 1 hit.
So we'll see what the bullpen by committee can do here to help out Chacin and pick up the final 6 outs and protect a 4-2 Brewer lead. Culberson's been swinging a pretty good bat for the Braves. He's hit in 8 of his last 9 starts. Since the beginning of May, this guy's hitting .309, 41 games. That's a pretty good clip. Tough hitter for Jennings.
They got Culberson, the right-hander. They got Inciarte, a lefty. Switch hitter Albies, and then you got a couple of lefties. Heavy left-handed lineup, at least at the top of the order for Atlanta.
Culberson also with 2 pinch hit home runs this season. Dangerous hitter off that Braves bench. We've been talking all night about this offense. It's not just Albies, Freeman, and Markakis, that's for sure. Two on the way. VR will handle it at second base. Time now for the Lowe's whole team together. And how about this bullpen against the Minnesota Twins in this latest series, only allowing 1 earned run, and that didn't come until Minnesota's last at bat in the 9th inning yesterday. Tremendous job. Dan Jennings had something to do with that as well.
Yep, 2 scoreless innings, and look at the walk. 1 walk in 11 2/3, 10 punch outs. One thing you cannot do to be successful out of the bullpen is come into a game and start walking batters, and the Brewers have done a really good job of that. Minimizing walks.
Inciarte, top of the order. He is had a base hit his last trip up, got hit by a pitch, took one in tight there. Took a cold strike 3 back in the 3rd inning. Had some words with Jeff Kellogg. Inside again from Jennings. 2-1. Inciarte .215 against left-handed pitching. Tries to lay a bunt down, and it's fouled. They even it up at 2-2. That Nationals Marlins game that Sophia reported on earlier, where the Marlins had rallied back, scoring 10 unanswered, or they actually scored 14 unanswered. The Marlins scored 3 in their half of the 8th, so it's a 14-12 final. That one just ended, the Nationals and the Marlins. Of course, the Brewers go there next. A cold strike 3. As Inciarte, second time he gets caught looking.
Man, Eric Kratz dropped it. A lot of times you're not going to get a call. Shouldn't matter, but yeah, sometimes when you drop them like that, especially when you don't hit your spot, it was supposed to be inside, ends up outer half.
So 2 batters so far and 2 down for Dan Jennings. Here's Ozzie Albies. Straightaway center Broxton, and a good inning in relief for Dan Jennings, just what Milwaukee needed. 7.5 in the books. The Brewers come to bat in their half of the 8th. Braves as Milwaukee comes to bat. And coming up after this ball game, we'll have Brewers Live presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Of course, we always hear from Craig Counsell about Ulysses Chassin, his 7 solid innings, and that 3-run second inning after the Brewers trailed by 2 to open things up as they were able to rally back, and right now a 4-2 lead again as they go to try to add some runs to the board. Rock and I are going to stay right here in the booth, not going anywhere for Brewers Live
We're going
postgame.
to break it all down, my friend. Hopefully it's going to be a happy breakdown.
We're going to put Sophia to work. I think we're going to line up all the Brewer stars right outside the dugout and do plenty of interviews down there. Let's keep Sophia on hand for the postgame.
See, all the other things you're doing tonight, now you're producing.
Well, that's true.
See, that's pretty good.
Dan Winkler in
Very
to pitch
talented,
now for the
aren't you?
Braves.
38th appearance for Winkler, a .234 earned run average. Yeah, Winkler last pitched on Monday, 13 pitch outing.
So Carl's pitched 3 innings in relief of Fried, then Freeman an inning, and now Winkler, and a base hit for Jonathan Villar to open things up.
That'd be nice to get another run on that board.
Yes, it would.
Not trying to do too much with it. 2 hits now for VR. Fastball that had too much of the play. You can see Flowers reaching for it. Was supposed to be away. Shoots it right back through the middle.
So VR on for the second time. That brings up Kristen Yelich. Officially 0 for 2. Did draw a walk back in the 3rd. Jeremy Jeffress now loosening up in that Brewer bullpen.
I got to believe Jenny's going to stay in there. You got Freeman and Markakis starting out. 2 lefties. Yeah, Jeremy pitched yesterday an inning and 2/3. And threw 23 pitches. Craig Counsell's hoping to maybe just get him in there for 1 hitter. End the game. We'll see.
Yep, we'll see what the Brewer offense could do here. Good start with VR out at first base and nobody out. Be nice to pick up some insurance runs, some late inning runs here. And this one thrown away. And it does make it into the camera well, I believe. VR slow to get up over there at first base. And he'll be awarded second base.
Did it hit him? I think maybe Freddie Freeman maybe stepped on him or something. I don't know what happened.
See if the ball hit him anywhere, maybe in the head. Let's find out where this. Maybe it went off his glove and head.
I don't know. Yeah, well, he's all right. He's at second base. Yeah, hit his helmet.
Yep. Glanced off the glove and then hit him in the head.
He won clearly on that shot.
That's why you keep those helmets on, right?
Yeah.
All right, scoring position, nobody out for Yelich. So the error on the pitcher Winkler to officially advance VR. First error of the night by either team. Yelich ahead, 2 balls, no strikes, and lines this one into right field. And here's your insurance run. VR easily scores. Yelich in with the RBI double. 5-2 Milwaukee.
They gotta love the offense tonight. Manufacturing runs, taking advantage of mistakes, and Christian Yelich with his first hit whistles one out into right field. And you see that fastball that was pretty much down the middle of the plate, and Christian not going to miss too many of those. They pull it into right, and VR scores easily. Yelich trades places with him at second base.
Big run for Milwaukee. Another one out there. Still nobody out here in the 8th for Jesus Aguilar. First pitch a strike to the big Brewer first baseman. 300 on the season now for Jesus. Among regular starters, Jesus Aguilar leads the Brewers in hitting. Who would have predicted that to start the year?
Right. It's been a nice surprise.
His bat's been quiet the last few days. Like to get it awake right here. Just in time for the rest of the weekend. Brewer fans making some noise. Attendance tonight 27,557. Chops this one foul to even up the count.
The best pitch for Winkler, the cutter. He throws a lot of them. Yeah, fastball, cutter.
Check out those numbers, Rock. 7th inning or later for Jesus Aguilar, 370. And look at the power, 7 home runs and 15 RBIs.
Yeah.
7 of his 19 home runs.
He's hit some big home runs late, that's for sure.
Here's the 2-2. Spoils another one. Big run just came home moments ago thanks to Christian Yelich. With the RBI double, he's waiting out at second base. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. Dan Winkler on the mound. Aguilar swinging a miss, so he strikes out.
That cutter, good one, right off the edge. He talked about that cut fastball, and he throws a lot of them. That was well located. Close enough to swing at, but even if you hit it, not going to do much with it.
Here's Ryan Braun with 1 out. Ryan 0 for 3 tonight. Big run out there at second base. Big swing and a miss there by Ryan Braun. Like Aguilar, it'd be nice to get Ryan Braun's bat going here for the weekend against the Braves as well.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter right there. That pitch away, although it was down a little bit, get that pitch up a little bit. Those are the ones he hits hard to right.
He says that warm, hot, humid air good for the back.
And good for everything.
Trying to
baseball weather.
Take advantage of that for one more night here. Here's the 0-2 inside. Run is set. Here's the 1-2. Fouls another one away to the right side. Ten home runs, 35 RBIs this season for Ryan Braun. Only one hit so far on the homestand in 12 at-bats. He's usually not down too long. Eric Thames has been getting a lot of time in the outfield. Not playing tonight. Braun takes ball 2 to even things up.
Cutter, he tried to catch the inside corner. Now that's a tough pitch to throw. The angle on that is very difficult.
Winkler's already given up 1 run here to start his relief appearance here in the 8th inning. He's got Yelich out at second base after the RBI double. He's got Braun at 2-2. And again, another foul ball.
Ronnie looking for one of those cutters that he leaves out over the plate a little bit up in the zone. Rattle one off that wall in right center.
Two from Winkler. Again, Braun fouls one off. Big at bat for Braun, who started out 0-2. He's been battling Winkler. 8th pitch of the at bat will be the next one. And again, Braun gets a piece of that one to stay alive.
And more the slider that time, took a little off. 83 miles an hour.
Winkler steps away from the mound, trying to get a breather. Big battle here against one of the best hitters over the course of the last decade. Again, this time he misses outside. 3-2. It runs full. Hot, humid night here in Milwaukee.
Overall batting average down for Braun at 237, but very good in these spots. Man at second base hitting near 300.
He's got one out there in Yelich right now. And Winkler looks Yelich back to second. Winkler takes a lot of time between pitches here.
Braun's wearing him out.
Yeah. And Braun swing and a miss there. So Winkler wins a long battle. 10 pitch at bat. And this one goes to the pitcher, 2 down.
And basically 4-seam fastballs and cutters. He did throw one slider. Here's the cutter on the corner, foul tip, and Flowers able to hold on to it. Well, a couple of punch outs for the Brewers after Yelich reached second base with a double.
Here's Perez, a triple, single, and a run in this game. Great for production from Perez. Started at third tonight for Travis Shaw. Thames and Shaw, the 2 big lefty power bats, sat against Fried, the young lefty pitcher on the mound for the Braves. He only lasted 3 innings. Perez belts this one center field. Inciarte goes back, and it's gone! Hernan Perez with a 2-run home run with 2 outs. And that extends Milwaukee's lead, his 5th home run of the season. And a big punch here in the 8th gives Milwaukee a 7-2 lead.
Have a night, Hernan Perez, 3 hits. Oh, that's a big one. 3 runs here in the 8th. Brewers able to get to the Atlanta bullpen finally. Carlin Freeman pretty good. Winkler having his problems tonight. Yep, Cutter was up. That was the pitch that Braun was looking for. Gave it to Perez, and he drove it out of here off the batter's eye in center. 5-run lead now.
Perez with his 3rd 3-hit game this season. And he is dialed in over the course of the last couple of weeks. Got that bat going, and all of a sudden he got a start on that shortstop. Hadn't played out there until recently this season. And Craig Counsell's used him anywhere and everywhere because of the bat.
Well, huge for the Brewers. I mean, they're in a really good position to win a game where when a lot of their bullpen guys, 2 of their big guns not available. Still have some time left, but they're sitting pretty at this point.
Keon Broxton.
Nice play.
And a nice play out at short by Swanson. That'll end the Brewers' 8th inning, but it's Hernan Perez. The fireworks continue on July 5th. A big home run here in the 8th, and the Brewers lead at 7-2. Pushing now for Dan Jennings, who enters his 2nd inning of relief, trying to get these final 3 outs and secure a Brewer victory here tonight at Miller Park against the Atlanta Braves. So let's see if he can get her done as he faces Freddie Freeman to lead off.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to get through this game without having to use Jeremy Jeffress. Now, you figured that Jennings was going to come out to face Freeman and Markakis. And with a 5-run lead, Craig Counsell probably just going to leave him in to finish it up if he can.
Jeffress still tossing in that bullpen just in case. A little check swing. Freeman makes contact, and Perez guns him down. Take a look at our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Back here tomorrow as Freddie Peralta, the young rookie, goes to work again, looking to pick up his 4th victory for the Milwaukee Brewers. Rock.
Pretty good pitching matchup. Look at the earned run average for Fulton Avich. 6-4, 202 earned run average. Look at the strikeout, 107. in 89 innings of work, and Freddie Peralta can strike out a few himself. So there's going to be a lot of swinging and missing tomorrow.
Here's Nick Markakis. Big swing and a miss, lefty versus lefty there. Brewer starter Yolis Chacin, 7 strong innings. Dan Jennings trying to pick it up here in the 8th and 9th inning. Jennings, 1 career save back in 2016 when he was with the White Sox. There's a look at that stat for Dan Jennings. We'll see if he gets an opportunity to finish this one out.
Jeffers still lightly tossing out there in the bullpen. I can't believe that. Well, I should say, I would imagine Craig Count just like to leave Jennings in to finish this one up.
There's JJ. Lee Tunnell, the Brewers bullpen coach. What a job he and Derek Johnson have done with this entire staff. There's strike 3. And Jennings 2 down quickly.
Right at the bottom of the strike zone. Jeff Kellogg rings him up. Good job by Eric Kratz to stick the landing on the pitch at the knees.
There's Tyler Flowers. Albies, Freeman, and Markakis, 3 of the top hitters not only with this Braves system but in all of the National League right now. Brewer pitchers have done a nice job. Albies the only one to reach base safely on a hit. To short, Saladino, and that'll do it. Another win for Milwaukee here as Jennings finishes. And the Brewers a 7-2 win over the Braves, and a big win to open up this big 4-game showdown here at Miller Park against the top team in the National League East and the top team in the National League Central.
Well, you got to really tip your hat to Chacin. I mean, he really was able to throttle one of the best offensive teams in the National League, and the Brewers came up big. They needed to score some runs. They did. And Hernan Perez was the start today.
Yolis Chacin picks up the win here tonight. He is now 7-3. Jennings, his first save as a Brewer. 7-2 is the final score. Coming up on Brewers Live postgame, we'll talk about that great pitching performance and hear from Craig Counsell, all coming up next.